Water got blown out, and I saw lots of strawberries as well. 50 degrees right now, 68% humidity. It's a quiet night out there. We do have a little minor offshore flow, of course, focusing back across the East Coast, or I should say the Appalachian Mountain area. Again, we're seeing that basically a dangerous mix of warm, moist air being run into by cold air. It looks a lot like what we see in springtime. Can happen any time of year. This year, though, it's been really kicking into gear late fall, early winter. And you can see that just whenever you see these big temperature swings, Atlanta to Memphis. Yesterday, Memphis to Kansas City was really extreme. Today, it still is. I mean, look at this big difference right here. And it will slowly try to work its way out. But until then, you're going to get a lot of this, which is that dividing line between the two areas. I mean, look at the snow and the water and the rain, I should say. And in between there is just a volatile mix of severe weather, and already tornado watches popping up and a lot of flooding issues throughout the region. And then behind it, once it does clear out, they'll get really cold. So if it's real wet, of course, then you're talking about a lot of ice. For us, though, good news here. To sort of put this into an easy way to understand this, the more we see our numbers going this way on the number code right there, the code, the better we do. So the more purples and blues, and this map has been getting more purple and blue over the last couple of weeks, almost daily. And the deficit numbers, even though a few areas are still seeing deficits, they're getting demonstrably better and better just by the moment. And as long as we can keep it going, I know we're going to be heading into a little bit of a dry spell for at least a week or so, maybe a little longer. But if we can get back into the game with the rain by the end of January or the middle and second half of January, we're looking really, really good at having a good water year. Today's temperatures, we did manage to get a couple of 60s out there, mostly 50s again. But again, we did kind of eke up just a little bit, although a very cold morning and another cold night ahead. We do not have any official frost or freeze issues, but with light winds, last night we had the benefit of a slight offshore flow, and it looks like it's trying to kick back into gear down in Ventura County. Maybe the Lucias will also pick up in and around San Luis Obispo, but for the most part, it's quiet wind, low to maybe moderate moisture levels, and that can set you up for a very cold night. So watch out for that. I know to the north of us and down into Southern California, the weather services there have issued some frost watches and advisories. For us, though, we're not really looking at that quite yet. We may see that popping in overnight tonight. And yes, it will stay very much below average across much of the west, but we're slowly going to turn that back the other way. I said we'll do the best we can, and here it is. We're starting to see more and more clear weather. That's high pressure. The air will sink and start to kind of warm us up. We're losing a lot of the cold air eventually. It's going to take about maybe 2 to 3 days. But that cold air that ran in with all those storms will slowly moderate and get kind of pushed out of the region. So if you want more warmth, it will slowly come back. But again, probably not until about the middle, maybe about Wednesday or so will be our day we can start looking outside and going back to T-shirts versus all the hoodies and jackets that I've been noticing a lot of people wearing. So the futurecast stays very quiet out there. Marine there possibly popping up here and there. And there's a little hint of something that tries to work its way in early next week, but not much in the way of any measurable rainfall is expected south of perhaps maybe Monterey County, and that would be extremely light, probably not even measurable. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll kind of update tomorrow night as well. Wind doesn't expect to be too strong. Just overnight we'll see some little sort of puffs of offshore flows here and there, and then in the afternoon just a minor onshore flow, which is very normal for this time of year. And the temperatures, well, back into those 50s and low 60s for your Sunday. As we head into Monday, slight changes maybe here or there, but not much. It will be a cold morning and then another cool afternoon. So let's go ahead and look at the South Coast. A nice day out there, mostly sunny. And again, today, you know, our computer really, I don't know if it's the glass is half full, half empty, but it always seems to come in a little cooler than what we end up being. So maybe we'll be more in the 60s tomorrow rather than mid to upper 50s. But a lot of areas, again, will be chilly, especially early in the morning. And then by the afternoon, just kind of slowly bringing it up into the cool range for just about everybody. Surf, unfortunately, is a little on the small side. It's expected to pick up a little bit next week. And we also do have an advisory, and that is for very high tides. And that will last through at least the next day or so. And about 9 a.m. a.m. is when we'll see the highest tides in the morning at about 7 feet. And there it is, slightly warmer, slightly that is, by about Tuesday with some marine layer possibly popping up here and there. And then we'll stay mild through the week, a slight chance of more showers. Does knock on the door by late next weekend or so. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like that should stay mainly north of Point Conception, Tracy, but at least we've done some real significant damage to our drought conditions.
Coming up, our sports director and weekend sports anchor are at the Rose Bowl. They will have highlights coming your way. And a former NFL coach and Super Bowl winner passes away. Those stories still ahead on your local news channel, live at 6.